What's up, everyone? It's the Autistic Scyther here, and, well, or anyone who has watched my previous videos, you basically know one thing. Pokémon and Fire Emblem are my autistic special interest. Which, honestly, kind of makes sense, and it's something I'm very well proud of. However, it's not the only one of Nintendo's franchises that I've been around ever since the beginning, since one of my very first games was Super Mario Land for the Game Boy that I ended up getting back when I was like 8. And in all fairness, really does say a lot that I kind of know a lot about Mario games and Mario power-ups. In fact, that's what this entire list is for, as I'm going to be decided to count down my top 10 Mario power-ups. And honestly, the main one here is only power-ups from games I've played. And honestly, no Super Mario Bros. Wonder, since I have not played any of that yet. So that really says a lot. So, without further ado, let's get started. Starting off first at number 10, we have the Boo Mushroom. And honestly, it kind of fits that I've never played any of the Super Mario Galaxy games. At least until Super Mario 3D All-Stars, when I got to play Super Mario Galaxy for the first time. And honestly, I kind of like power-ups where you transform into specific enemies. And the Boo Mushroom was just one of those, which honestly really does say a lot, since when I got a chance to use this and see Mario transformed into a Boo, I was kind of intrigued. I mean, not only do you get to float in like a Boo, but you get to become invisible. And as a guy who watched a lot of Danny Phantom on Nickelodeon growing up, which I'm sure there are a lot of others that have done so as well, yeah, it's actually pretty cool. And every time I see him as Boo Mario, it's almost making me seem like Mario's basically become a that is half human, half ghost, as Danny was. The reason why the Boo Mushroom's not this higher is because it's not seemingly one of the better transformation power-ups. I mean, also I would have been able to go through this even more so if it wasn't for the Speedy Spectre completely screwing me over. I swear I hate Rubber Band AI. Moving on next at number 9, we have the Double Cherry. Now, this one's kind of an interesting one, as we go from a game that I hadn't played through until I played it on the Nintendo Switch, to another game whose remastered version I played through on the Switch. Jeez, the Wii really was not some of my better ones. But then again, I did not have a Wii. But other than that, when I played through Super Mario 3D World, actually, when it comes down to it, I've seen a lot of people basically lauding Super Mario 3D World's praises. And when Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury was announced, I honestly wanted to pick it up and play through it. And that I did. Considering I played through it twice already, yeah, I can see why everyone loves this game. And in all fairness, I think it was the better ones on the Wii U, which really says a lot. But rant aside, when it comes down to the power-ups, yeah, I have a lot of good memories with them. One of those is the Double Cherry, which the fact that this is ahead of the Boo Mushroom really says a lot, but It's one of the few power-ups that can basically split you into multiple forms of yourself. Almost like you have a full-on duplication power. Yeah, if you already hadn't guessed why it's this low, yeah, you're pretty much right. But in all fairness, my reason is it's very hard to keep a steady stream of double cherry copies going. I mean, seriously, you never know what's gonna happen. And yeah, basically, for that, I had to put it pretty low as a result. So, yeah. That's why. Moving on next at number 8, we have the Cape Feather. Oh boy! Seriously, honestly, when it comes down to these things, the Switch is one of those few areas that gives me some solid power-ups. And Cape Feather? Honestly, really does say a lot. And keep in mind, I've played through a bit of Super Mario World. In fact, when it comes down to it, when I had my own Nintendo Switch Online connection, it's very fair to say I was playing through a lot of the title. It was quite easily. Granted, I was more so interested in like the RPGs like Paper Mario, Breath of Fire, and Fire Emblem. But honestly, I played through a lot of others, and Super Mario World was one of the more enjoyable ones. And the Cape Feather actually was pretty cool. Again, reason why this is so low. It's a little too good. As basically you could just skip the entire stage. And every time I collected the Cape Feather, I was very tempted to skip through the stage like it was nothing. Knowing me, I want a challenge when it comes down to these things, so yeah, even with the Cape Feather, I basically just played through it normally. That being said, Super Mario World is basically one of the hardest Mario platformers. And I didn't even have an SNES growing up, so you know that's something. Moving on next at number 7, we have the Goomba Mask. And honestly, I know a lot of people are going to say, this isn't a power-up. And sure, it kinda doesn't look like a power-up, but more often than not, a lot of places consider this a power-up. I mean, heck, even the Mario Wiki, when I was doing my initial research for this list, basically considers the Goomba Mask a power-up in itself. And honestly, really does say a lot. And again, there's a reason why it's higher than the Boo Mushroom. Because basically, you're just putting a mask that looks like the head of a Goomba over yourself, and basically, you're able to walk past different enemies like it was nothing. I gotta admit, it's actually pretty impressive when you think about it. And it's kind of funny just basically looking like a Goomba and just passing by like do-do-do, and almost, and they basically just don't give you a second glance. Until you take the mask off and then it's all hands on deck. I mean, heck, even Paper Mario the Origami King basically brought in a little comeback with the paper mache Goomba mask, which is basically like a bigger version of the Goomba mask. Which, honestly, really doesn't say a lot. Again, there's a little bit of a reason why it's not at the halfway point, or any higher than this, or even at the halfway point. It's not in that many stages. The only one that has the Goomba mask in it is Hands-On Hall. And honestly, if it was in more stages, I would be happy to put this higher. But then again, yeah, it's just gonna stay at number 7. Honestly, I don't think there's been any other franchise who's had the one-and-done items that have basically been forgotten. Megaton Hammer! A spinner! Moving on next at number 6, Superstar. Yeah, that's right. One of the most basic answers for the Mario franchise. And honestly, you gotta admit, I really do love the Superstar. I mean, it's one of the most iconic power-ups next to the mushroom of the Mario franchise. And basically, when you get a hold of this, you get a temporary boost of invulnerability where you can just plow through the stage and kill any enemy for a good amount of time without getting hit. And honestly, when it comes down to it, I take anything I can get. And honestly, you gotta admit, the Superstar is really fun. However, the only reason I have the Superstar at number 6 is because of Super Mario Land and the Superstar there. Again, I actually found the theme that plays whenever you get the Superstar to be actually kind of interesting. I didn't know it was that Offenbach song that basically was the song that played during that. And honestly, I gotta say, I was pretty impressed. And I think that may have been what got me more into music as a kid. So, bravo, Nintendo. Bravo. Moving on next at number 5, we have the Ice Flower. And yeah, I know a lot of people would say that the new Super Mario Bros. Franchise's Ice Flower is the most iconic one. And yeah, you gotta admit, it really does say a lot. But no, I'm talking Super Mario Galaxy's Ice Flower. I mean, this one's one of the more interesting ones. Because when you basically get a hold of this Ice Flower, you turn into an icy version of yourself, like an ice statue of sorts. And not only do you get a chance to throw ice balls and freeze opponents, especially in the main platformers, but in Galaxy, you can basically just ice skate around on different areas. And honestly, I find that to be fun. Like, very fun. Again, when it comes to the Galaxy titles, it's kind of less likely. It's not in that many areas, and the fact I've played through Super Mario Galaxy, and the fact I haven't gotten any further in that because of that Speedy Spectre, well, it's basically still stuck at number 6. So, yeah. Ice Flower number 6. No, wait, Ice Flower number 5. Oh, I screwed that up. But still, yeah, it's no higher than number 5 at this point, so that's really saying a lot. Alright. This will be continued in part 2. So, see you there.